from Atlanta, Georgia, SunTrust Park, the new home of the Atlanta Braves here in the heart of Cobb County. It is game one, first appearance for the Brewers in this venue. Game one of this three-game series, the Brew Crew and the Atlanta Braves. And hi, everybody. We welcome you from Atlanta. Great to have you with us. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. And we're looking forward to this matchup tonight. You got Mike Foltynewicz against Jimmy Nelson. But the headliner today is Eric Sogard. 3 more hits yesterday. Rock scored a couple of runs. This guy's doing it all.
I don't think anybody had this kind of production out of Sogard. Got called up on May 12th. The Brewers 15-7 in his starts. A big day yesterday. 3 hits, a couple of runs scored. And oh yeah, maybe the play of the game in yesterday's contest against the Pirates. A deflection. Sogard, Johnny on the spot, picks it up, throws to home, and gets the out. That certainly did not help the Pirates in yesterday's ball game. But Sogard, a big surprise since he got called up, and one of the reasons why the Brewers are in first place right now.
How about an OPS over 1,000? His on-base percentage at .466. He'll be matching up against Mike Foltynewicz tonight. We got a couple of strikeout pitchers on the mound. Foltynewicz, Jimmy Nelson. Game one coming up next. This Brewers-Braves series is brought to you by Wisconsin Dells, the water park capital of the world. 87 degrees here in Atlanta. It is very windy right now, and they are expecting some storms to blow through here a little bit later, so we might be fighting the rain. Last night they had about a 90-minute rain delay. The Braves beat the San Francisco Giants last night, while the Brewers were very cozily tucked in their beds after a win against the Pittsburgh Pirates yesterday afternoon. Let's give you the Milwaukee Brewers lineup turned in by Craig Counsell, Eric Sogard, and Eric Thames back at the top with Domingo Santana. Counsell has Shaw, Pena, and Franklin in the middle of the order. Franklin gets his second start in the last 4 days. Keon Broxton, Orlando Arcia, and Jimmy Nelson will round out the starting 9 against right-hander Mike Foltynewicz, who was on a strikeout binge in his last start against the Brewers at Miller Park.
Man, no kidding. The Brewers beat him. That was in April at Miller Park, as you mentioned. He struck out the first 6 of 7 batters. Then the Brewers got to him. He only lasted 4 innings, making career start number 4 against Milwaukee. He's currently 1-1. Last time out, and no decision against Miami. 6 innings, 2 runs for Foltynewicz. Now let's check out the Braves defense, brought to you by Menards. You got Santana, Enciarte, Marquez, Enciarte, very talented out there in center field. Camargo, Swanson, Phillips, and Adams from third to first, and Tyler Flowers behind home plate.
Brand new ballpark. Everybody trying to get acclimated here in Brewers camp. And the dimensions, the right field line. First of all, they tell us the ball really travels well. This is turned into a hitter-friendly venue here in Atlanta. Remember, Turner Field was always pitcher-friendly. It's only 325 down the right field line. There is a 16.5-foot wall that has some brick above the padding and can cause some havoc to outfielders. We'll get through all of that as this game goes on, as we introduce you to this brand new venue in Major League Baseball. And we are underway at SunTrust Park. Eric Sogard takes strike 1 from Foltynewicz. 83 degrees as we get started, and Sogard bounces one to Brandon Phillips, and that's how the day begins for the big right-hander. 4-man umpiring crew is in place. That is Chris Conroy calling balls and strikes. Ben May, Ed Hickox, and Jerry Meals are the base umpires. The crew chief over there at third base, Jerry Meals. I can tell you the clubhouse is here. All the underneath areas for the players is about as good as it gets. A lot of room to roam around. The batting cages are fantastic. The field surface looks extremely fast. It's in immaculate condition. But just watching ground balls here earlier, the ball was hopping along like it was an AstroTurf setting.
It's almost like a putting green out there on the grass in the infield. Very nice, very smooth, cut short. Impressive ballpark.
Eric Thames out in front, and down he goes. Strikeout. First strikeout of the game for Foltynewicz.
You're going to see a lot of these. I mean, the slider for Foltynewicz, that was the pitch that really gave the Brewers a lot of problems in the first couple of innings in that start at Miller Park. Fastball, slider. He'll throw some changeups and curveballs to lefties, but basically against right-handers. Fastball, slider.
2 outs. Here is Domingo Santana. Takes a ball from Foltynewicz. The Brewers winning the last 2 games of their homestand, winning the final 2 against the Pirates to earn a split in that series. And it was a winning homestand because of those 2 wins. The Brewers go 4-3. Craig Counsell just remains steady. He likes his club. He says they're playing well. They're playing loose. He hasn't seen any signs of tension. They've been able to bounce back well after disappointing losses, and you could certainly consider Monday and Tuesday disappointing losses to the Pirates. But a ball club that starts play today in first place, having won 7 of 10, the Brewers. A game and a half ahead of the Chicago Cubs, who are in Miami tonight. 5 games up on St. Louis, and they send the Pirates out just as they came in. 6 games back.
Yeah, Craig Counsell very happy with just about every part of his team's play so far. He'd like to have a little bit more consistency defensively, and not but the spectacular plays have come for him. Sometimes game-saving plays, but on a daily basis, like to be able to clean up that defense a bit.
Full count to Santana, and that's down and out on a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Santana draws a walk and a base runner with 2 outs for the Brewers.
Yeah, Foltynewicz's cruising speed about 94, but he was giving Santana a little bit extra because Domingo hit 2 homers against Foltynewicz back at Miller Park in that start in April.
Domingo was 2 out of 3 in that game with those 2 home runs. It's a pitcher that a number of these Brewers have seen because of that series at Miller Park in the first month of the year. And that might not sound by much, but this ball club has been a team and been a roster that doesn't have a whole lot of history against a particular pitcher on any given night. Remember that start they had against Clayton Kershaw? Not one guy in the lineup or even on the active roster had ever even faced Clayton Kershaw. A lot of brand new faces.
That could be a good and bad thing. I mean, good thing in that really no preconceived notions about guys. I mean, guys coming in with all these accolades and MVPs and, you know, Cy Youngs, and on the flip side of it, you really don't know what they're throwing, but I think it kind of equals itself out.
Travis Shaw with a man on, swings at a breaking ball in the dirt, and it's a ball and 2 strikes on Shaw. Travis against Foltynewicz. First look at him this season and in his career. Wasn't in the lineup on that day back in April, so he's one of the few that are learning all of this. And he's a guy that is tough to get a handle on early. Big strikeout pitcher, picks up a couple of Ks in the first inning, and we're off and running in Atlanta. Jimmy Nelson on the mound for the Brew Crew. SunTrust Park. And there is Brian Snitker, got the full-time job after taking over as the interim manager. Long-time organizational coach and manager with the Atlanta Braves, and rewarded with the managerial job. He's done a good job with this rebuilding ball club that's getting closer and closer to competing in their division. Right now they're 4 games under. Snitker's batting order looks like this here tonight. Ender Inciarte leads off, then Brandon Phillips. Nick Markakis hits third. Middle of the order is Matt Adams, the former Cardinal, Tyler Flowers, and Danny Santana. And then it's Dansby Swanson, Johan Camargo, and Mike Foltynewicz rounding out the starting 9. And Jimmy Nelson, Rock, coming off a gem, his last time out, a complete game.
Yeah, probably his best start as a major leaguer. Complete game against the Padres. 1 unearned run he allowed in a 2-1 Brewers victory. 118 pitches, a season high. And we'll see how that affects him here tonight in Atlanta.
Well, Nelson, in that game, not only was it important for him to finish because he had not done that at the professional ranks, he had a number of complete games as a collegiate pitcher not too far from here at Alabama, University of Alabama. But the Brewers, you might remember that day, were very thin in their bullpen. That was a day when Craig Counsell came into it saying, we basically don't have 4 relievers available in the 8-man bullpen that night. And all Jimmy Nelson did was toe the line for 9 innings on 118 pitches. Gave up 6 hits, but 4 of those were infield hits. Had a double-digit strikeout performance. He was brilliant against San Diego, and that secured a series win for the Brewers. And he's got a strikeout to start his night. Punches out Ender Inciarte to get his evening underway.
Now let's check out the Brewers Menards defense. Nick Franklin getting a start out in left field. His 11th start out there in left. His last start a few days ago, 2 for 3, a home run and 2 RBIs. Broxton and Santana round out the outfield. Shaw, Arcia, Sogard, and Thames in the infield, and Manny Pena behind home plate.
Well, Franklin finding his way into the starting lineup. His last start was a productive one. He had 2 hits, including a home run, opposite field home run. You don't want that bat to get too cold, and Counsell trying to make sure he's in there as Phillips on the first pitch sends one high and deep left center. Franklin being challenged, and it is gone. Wynn must have caught that on some level, because Phillips, when it left the bat, gave you the look he knew it was out, and then all of a sudden he started running faster, but it had enough to clear, and the Braves are on the board. Solo home run by Brandon Phillips.
Well, if you look at the flag out there in right center, it's blowing really stiff out there toward left field, and not exactly sure how the wind is, affects the flight of the baseball in these stadiums. But once again, Brandon Phillips, how many times have we seen him ambush fastballs early in the count? That one just able to carry out into left field. Braves on the board. That guy is a dead red first pitch fastball swinger, and he got one there.
Done a lot of damage to the Brewers over the years, his years with the Cincinnati Reds. That was the 24th career home run for Brandon Phillips against Milwaukee, and for this season, Phillips his 6th of the year. Now 25 runs batted in. Nick Markakis now with 1 out.
Ball carrying better here than it did in the old ballpark.
I always felt that was a pitcher's park, but you talk to pitchers, they just say, no, it was fair. That's when you know it's a pitcher's park, when pitchers say it's fair.
Yeah, right.
But it took a lot to get it out of Turner Field.
Yeah, hitters just say it's a big-time pitcher's ballpark. I mean, it's tough to hit him out of that ballpark. But again, I mean, they tell us that the jet stream is from center around to right. That one to left looked like it had some carry on it.
In the heart of Cobb County, now in the suburbs. Braves no longer playing in downtown Atlanta, and there is a walk. Nick Markakis is aboard. Craig Counsell had some great memories at Turner Field. Was the NLCS MVP for the Arizona Diamondbacks, excuse me, in 2001. Matter of fact, both of the championship series that led to the World Series for Counsell's teams, the Marlins in '97 and the Diamondbacks in '01, passed through Turner Field to get to the World Series. So he was kind of sad to see that go. He had a lot of great memories there.
That was a nice ballpark. And elected that they figured that this location would be much better for attendance. Opposite direction of more in the suburbs, I would say, right?
Yeah.
Not downtown.
Nelson facing Matt Adams, who you have to take a double take on if you haven't followed the Braves this year. This is the former St. Louis Cardinal slugger, or at least half of the former St. Louis Cardinal slugger. He has lost a lot of weight. Slim and trim, and he's having a great year for the Atlanta Braves. That was a nice pickup for Atlanta.
Yeah, getting a lot more playing time. Freddie Freeman on the disabled list, and they picked him up to play first base on an everyday basis. Wasn't going to get that playing time in St. Louis.
He's hit 13 homers, Rock, 12 of them as a Brave, and all 12 of those home runs as a Brave coming since May 20th. A bit of a surprising trade, but it didn't look like there was much playing time for Adams, who sends one into the gap in right center. Broxton able to cut it off, not before Markakis goes to third base. And the Braves keep on hitting, carrying over what they did last night against San Francisco.
Yeah, Braves had a long night at the ballpark last night. Rain delay and a 12-11 game. It doesn't seem to bother their bats so far tonight. Finds a little bit toward the gap out there for Broxton. Markakis gets into third base.
Braves beat the Giants 12-11 last night. Had that 90-minute rain delay. They played 11 innings on Wednesday night. They won both of those games, though. They won the extra inning game, and then they won a very long night at the ballpark last night. So Atlanta 34-38, second in the National League East behind the Nationals, who look like a runaway train right now. There's strike one to Tyler Flowers. Braves are on a very similar path as the Brewers. They've been stockpiling their system with prospects. They've made a number of trades throughout the last few years. They've also been acquiring some bigger names, unlike the Brewers. Guys like Matt Kemp and Matt Adams and Brandon Phillips. Freddie Freeman's on the disabled list. A broken wrist. He is on the way back, though, and there is a lot of discussion here in Atlanta that Freeman is going to play third base when he comes back because Adams is having such a great run at first base. We saw Freeman taking ground balls at third base earlier today.
Yeah, Matt Kemp getting the day off today. Kemp having a nice season.
No balls, 2 strikes.
And nothing wrong with the velocity right now for Jimmy Nelson. 118 pitches his last time out against San Diego. And sometimes that affects a guy. Maybe lack of velocity, that's not the case, and maybe sometimes command can be an issue.
First and third, a run is in on a Brandon Phillips homer, and Nelson having to go to the heavy lifting here in this first inning. 1-2 pitch and a bouncing ball right to Sogard. He'll flip it to Arcia, who drops the baseball. And instead of an inning-ending double play, the normally sure-handed Arcia drops the ball and allows a run to score. There will be no error charged on that play. Can't assume a double play, so no error, but certainly a play that's tailor-made.
Yeah, that's an easy double play with the catcher getting down the line at first. That was a bullet to Sogard. He picks it. Good feed. He just flat dropped it. I'm not sure if he ever had it, number one. I think the Snitker wants him to take a look at it. I agree. I don't think he ever had possession of that baseball.
And they will take a look. So home plate umpire Chris Conroy alerts the crew chief. Yeah, this could go as a safe call all the way around.
I think the ball just kind of deflected off the end of the glove, the fingers and the thumb. Never had possession, and this one could get reversed.
Calling umpire will join the crew chief, Jerry Meals. That is Ed Hickox, with number 15 on his sleeve, the taller of the two.
And right here, I think he does have possession of it. I think that's a good call. I mean, when I first saw it in regular speed, it looked like he never had it. It looked like the glove closes around that baseball right there, and then when he tries to get it out of the glove, he drops it. I think that's going to be an out. Oh, it's safe. Wow.
So they are going to overturn it. I will say this, you know, the second replay we showed, the ball is coming out of the glove. He had not touched the base yet. Arcia had not touched the bag.
Okay.
And so I could see why this would be overturned. See, his foot hasn't hit the bag yet. Now the ball's out. Now he hits the bag with his toe.
Now there you go.
Well, you go from an inning-ending double play to first and second with a run in and one out. Arcia has been so great defensively. That one only took 25 seconds to review and overturn. Easy call. Here's Danny Santana now. I got a sense Craig Counsell was a little on the cautious side with the praise for Arcia after that amazing play the other night. Not for any other reason. He certainly wants to give Arcia his due, but you got to remember this is a very young player, and I think Craig Counsell, who's always hedges on the more moderate level of praise and negativity. Wanted to make sure that there wasn't so much publicity about that play, but you couldn't stop that train.
No.
After what Arcia did to win the game the other night.
It was a great play, and it turned out really great, but that was because of the play by Eric Thames at first base. Now, if that ball got by Thames and a run scores, we're having a different discussion. We've been talking about that the last couple of days.
You're right, and that would have certainly been, it would have been an error, could have led to the tying run. So you got to keep all that in perspective. As great as Arcia been, and he has made some plays this year that have been eye-popping. Still trying to bring along as best he can a very young player, and a lot of those responsibilities belong to Carlos Subero, the infield coach of the Brewers, and I'm sure he's had a lot of conversations with Arcia. Fly ball into left field. Franklin coming in, he's got it, and the second out of the inning. So if you weren't with us and you haven't been on social media and you haven't seen it, this was the play that ended the game in Milwaukee, and that pick by Eric Thames was significant as well.
Yeah. And tying run was at second base with 2 outs. I mean, everybody was just happy that he got to it and kept it in the infield. Kept the tying run from scoring, but he wasn't happy with that. He spun around, and a great play by Thames to get the in-between hop. Made that the play that we're talking about.
And as we've seen year after year with young players like Arcia, who's only 22, it's all about the routine at this point for his manager. And he does make the routine plays most often, just not this time. And all these extra pitches for Jimmy Nelson in the first inning.
Yeah, extra pitches and a run.
Dansby Swanson, highly regarded shortstop. We got 2 of the best young shortstops in the game in this matchup this weekend. And one bounces to the other, and Arcia gives it to Sogard to end the inning. So Nelson able to pitch around that error. There was an extra run that scored, and the Braves get 2 in the first.
Lead, and there's another 5 County Friday coming up 1 week from tonight. Giancarlo Stanton and the Miami Marlins head to the Cream City for a Friday night showdown with the Brewers, and all residents of the 5 County area can get their tickets for 50% off. Go to brewers.com/5 County for tickets.
Brewers playing from behind here tonight. 2-0 Atlanta. And here we go to the second inning. Manny Pena at the plate. Craig Counsell's catcher. He's been doing most of the catching here lately. It was good to see Jet Bandy get off the schneid yesterday. Had a base hit, snapped a long streak of hitless at bats. He went 0 for 24. So you're trying to get this catching core put back together offensively. Both have been doing a fantastic job defensively and handling the pitching.
Yeah, Bandy made a great play at home plate on a tag late in the game. Yesterday's game.
Manny Pena has been a hot hitter lately. He's had some clutch moments for the Brewers. Matter of fact, his last 2 home runs were big home runs, either game tying or put ahead homers. He's also had that home run on Mother's Day, that a 3-run shot that gave the Brewers a lead. So he's only hit 4, Rock, but 3 of them have been very timely
when they count. Well, the catching duo has been pretty good for Craig Counsell. He's been able to keep them both sharp, giving them both a lot of playing time. Although, as you mentioned, Manny has caught 5 of the last 6.
Foltynewicz with a strikeout for the first out of the inning, and his 3rd already.
Yeah, fastball this time, 97 out of the strike zone. Again, right-handers are going to get steady diet of fastball slider. He mixes it up a little bit more against lefties. Add a curveball and a changeup from time to time.
Nick Franklin now. Switch hitting left fielder tonight for the Brewers. He is a super utility man. You give him the super label because he can play outfield along with infield. That's all it took. All those years you played, that's all it took.
And he's ready to catch.
He will do that on occasion. You'll see him out there warming up pitchers. He is the emergency catcher. He's got like a full bag of equipment and everything.
Got his own gear.
Shin guards, got his name on it.
Yeah. Not a mark on it.
You know you're in the big leagues when your 3rd catcher, your emergency catcher, has his own gear with his name on it. It's big time. Franklin with 2 homers. One of those coming in his last game, his last start for Milwaukee. He had gone homerless for about 2 months, a little over 2 months prior to that opposite field homer. He's got some power. A former 1st-round draft pick by the Mariners. Little half swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. Jerry Meals says so. 3-2 the count.
Yeah, very personable guy, Nick Franklin. Always wanted to have a conversation around the batting cage. Always got a smile on his face. Why not? Why wouldn't you?
Happy to be in the big leagues. He was released by the Rays, and the Brewers were able to pick him up. A new lease. There is a connection there with Brewers assistant general manager Matt Arnold, who is with the ball club this week. Arnie. And he's always liked Franklin. He likes the fact that he expanded his game to the outfield as well. He had been second baseman, shortstop, third baseman, mostly at second base though. And a line shot, base hit right back up the middle. Good swing by Franklin. And the first hit for the Brewers against Foltynewicz.
Yeah, without a doubt. He has a good swing from the left side. He has struggled a little bit as a right-handed batter. That fastball right down the middle, no movement whatsoever. And Franklin barrels it up. Hey, that was fun chatting with Matt Arnold on the bus to the ballpark. You know, the ballpark from the hotel, what, 6 miles? It took us 55 minutes.
There was a lot of conversation, way more than Matt Arnold signed up for.
Yeah, he was ready to move to the back of the bus. But, yeah, 6 miles, 55 minutes.
Took a while. Atlanta can have a little bit of traffic on a Friday afternoon. Keon Broxton takes a strike. Yeah, instead of turning left out of the hotel to go to the ballpark downtown, we turned right. It's a little bit unusual. Broxton takes a ball high.
From a broadcasting perspective, your thoughts on SunTrust Stadium? SunTrust Park.
I like it. I feel like the broadcast booth is a lot higher than most announcers would prefer. Play-by-play announcers. It's not as high as Washington. That's about to look. Matter of fact, those cameras, we're way up here. There's Chip Carey and Joe Simpson, and right below us are the cameras. I'd like to trade with them, actually. Maybe we can swap. No, it's a beautiful ballpark, though. It's got a great feel. They've pulled a lot of quality elements from different ballparks around the major leagues. And there's a lot of nooks and crannies out there in the outfield wall. Pretty big gap in left center. It goes pretty quickly to 375, but down the right field line is 325. With that brick wall that can create some interesting bounces on line drives. Outfielders have to beware.
Got a little Coors Field look to it in center.
So that has a little bit of the PNC Park feel. Right field, although the wall's not quite as tall. It's 16 feet out there. And it's not as massive as Turner Field. So it's a little more intimate, and they're drawing well, of course. First year of a stadium. I like it.
Yeah.
Broxton on the ground to short. Swanson flips it over to Phillips, and too much speed from Keon Broxton. He'll keep the inning alive. How about you, partner? You've been to so many ballparks in your life. What do you think?
I think it's nice. I mean, it's got a good feel to it. I think that the players really like it. In a good section of Atlanta. What do they call this area?
This is we're in Cobb County, so this is Battery, Atlanta.
Battery, Atlanta.
That's right. With all the shopping and the restaurants and
a little high, you know, our perspective. And you know, the other thing I noticed, the PA announcer very, very loud. They've got the volume cranked up quite a bit.
Oh, not the individual, the sound system.
Yeah.
You're not calling the PA announcer himself, the man who does it, a loudmouth.
I don't know.
Oh. I just want to make
sure.
No,
but the volume's cranked up quite a bit.
It's right, kind of right.
Have you noticed?
It's right in your face.
Yeah. You haven't noticed?
I have noticed. I noticed when we were trying to have a conversation before the game, I felt like I was standing on the highway.
But yeah, kudos. Nice ballpark.
Those are minimal inconveniences.
But one of the most important parts of a ballpark for us as broadcasters is the food situation.
They got some work to do. We'll try not to be so cranky. Arcia takes a strike. One of the things that I don't like about this ballpark is the fact there is no roof on top of it. And we are about to find out very quickly what happens when you don't build a new ballpark with a roof.
Right.
Because it is about to rain hard. Runner goes. Broxton. Arcia fouls it back.
Well, when you look up along the both lines, it looks like they started on both sides for a roof, but they kind of gave up.
They lost interest. Wagon must have lost a wheel on the way with the rest of the roof.
Yeah. People up there in the upper deck are safe.
Oh, and 2 the count. And Arcia takes snap throw to first. Broxton is back. Brewers are down 2-0. 2 first inning runs. Costly error in the inning by Orlando Arcia. A lot of pitches for Fultonevich already. This is number 38 on the way. And Arcia, center field. That is going to fall. A base hit. Broxton racing to third. The throw comes in late. And now Arcia will retreat to first.
Yeah, good idea. Orlando gets back to first base because they were ready to make a throw to second. With 2 outs, Broxton able to get a nice jump. Gets into third base easily. Oh, nothing else, you clear the pitcher for the 3rd inning. Arcia off the end of the bat, able to dump it in front of Enciarte, and Keon Broxton runs really well. Able to get in there safely.
He keeps on hitting. Arcia has got the average up over 265 now. Jimmy Nelson at the plate, so the pitcher will bat in this 2nd inning. He's taking a rip. Let's call Jimmy Nelson a little bit of a sneak attack hitter this year. He does have 3 hits in his 28 at bats, but he's driven in 2 runs.
Yeah, Jimmy got a base hit his last time out.
25th pitch of the inning is a strike, and that'll be a stolen base for Arcia. So now 2nd and 3rd, and I don't know, base open at first. You might consider pitching around Jimmy here. The way he's swinging it. No, probably not.
Might waste a couple.
Might think about it, or not, or just throw a fastball and get the inning over with. A strikeout number 4 for Fulton-Evans. Brewers put 2 on, strand them both. We head to the home 2nd. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. By Hupy and Abraham, voted best, rated best. Hupy and Abraham, tell them you mean business. And by Menards, save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Clouds are rolling in, darkening up quickly here. Let's hope the rain goes elsewhere. Braves are up 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Atlanta's coming to bat against Jimmy Nelson, who made the final out of the top of the 2nd. Now ready to play ball. Johan Camargo will lead off for Atlanta. Switch hitter starting at 3rd base tonight. On the first pitch, he fouls it away. Braves have designs on bringing Freddie Freeman back from the disabled list and playing him at 3rd base. You wonder how that's all playing for Johan Camargo, who is really swinging the bat well. And he hits one hard to 2nd, right at Sogard. That'll be out number 1. And the pitcher will bat Mike Fulton-Evans. Tonight's game being produced by Dan Keener, directed by Atlanta native Renardo Lowe. Brian Mikologic in the truck doing whatever he does. Great to have you with us tonight. Brian Anderson with Bill Schroeder. Our crew out at the Dells this weekend, having a lot of fun. Greg and Sophia and company, Augie. And Jeff Grayson back in our Fox Sports Wisconsin studio. We got full team coverage here, Rock.
Yeah, all kinds of different spots, right? I mean, what is it, 3 different locations? Nice. Modern technology.
Always great to be partnered up with our friends at Wisconsin Dells as well. It's that time of year. One of my favorite summer stops with the family. One ball, one strike on the pitcher, Fultonevich, and a swing and a miss, 1-2. Nelson could use a good quick inning here. And that's a good start. 2 quick outs. Picks up his 2nd strikeout. Returns a favor to his mound opponent.
Hey, if it doesn't have an actual diamond in it, but the replica ring the Brewers are giving away on July 16th is still a pretty sweet one. Hey, the Brewers host the Phillies on Sunday, July 16th, and all fans in attendance will get a 1982 AL Championship replica ring courtesy of Chevrolet. How about that?
You get a real ring.
Replica ring.
A real replica ring.
Not the one that's hanging on Gorman's finger.
I mean, it's not the kind that's going to make your finger turn green, right? You don't really wear it. You kind of put it up as a trophy.
Right? Well, you can wear it if you want.
Maybe you could.
I mean, I haven't seen it, but I'm assuming if they're giving you a ring, you can wear it.
Kiss the ring, Rock. You just missed that team.
83, my first year.
Came up the next year.
In July, came up, yep.
Jimmy Nelson, a strikeout to end the inning. Nice 1-2-3 second inning for Jimmy. 3 Ks. Here we go to the 3rd. Eric Sogard and Eric Thames ready to lead off. Brewers down 2-0 in Atlanta. Twice in the first inning. Nelson could have been out of that inning with just 1 run allowed. How about our car scoop from the clubhouse? The signing story of Eric Sogard. It's a pretty long and winding road to get him here, but essentially the Oakland A's, who he performed very well for in the major leagues, he became a free agent while he was injured, had a bad knee injury that knocked him out of the entire season last season. So I asked Craig Counsell today about that story. It was on a recommendation from Pat Murphy. Pat Murphy was the collegiate coach of Eric Sogard at Arizona State. So the Brewers front office, David Stearns and Matt Arnold, they liked what they saw, figured he might be a good bet. Murphy gave the character validation, if you will, and Counsell liked the versatility. of Sogard. There's Pat Murphy. And so I think Sogard at that point then made a decision that Milwaukee is the place that he had the best opportunity to play. But knowing that he was going to have to go to AAA most likely because he did not play all of last year. He didn't face any pitching, minus a couple of games in the minors. And so Craig Counsell and company deciding that it would be best for Sogard, if he was agreeable to it, to go to AAA, which he certainly was, and get his at-bats.
Yeah.
And he went to AAA. He hit there at Colorado Springs. And the first opportunity to get him in the big leagues, the Brewers made the move when Braun went on the disabled list the first time. And Sogard has been hitting ever since.
Yep, just had to make sure the Brewers did that he was going to be able to hold up, and he certainly has. He's been playing a lot since VR went on the disabled list.
His on-base percentage at .466 coming into play today. Now he's on for the first time. And I guess the lesson in that story is if you believe in your abilities, it doesn't matter where you go and play, with the end result being the major leagues, because Sogard needed to see pitching. He needed to get back in. Hopefully the knee was stable, needed those questions answered. Did that this spring and trusted his ability that he would go to AAA and he would hit his way out of the PCL basically.
Yeah, did anybody ever think he'd have this kind of success this fast? I mean, after missing all of last year. I mean, even if you have been playing consistently, I don't think anybody would have thought that Sogard would ever have this much of an impact. Leadoff hitter, huge on base percentage, and playing impeccable defense.
Made a game-saving play yesterday at second base. He has not committed an error at second base this season. Craig Counsell was saying before the game, when asked about Sogard, did you see this coming? And obviously the answer is no, but you would say that about any player he was quick to put context to, because hardly anyone, any second baseman in the league is going along as well as Eric Sogard is right now for an extended period of time. And he referenced not only the on-base percentage, which is up over .460, but his overall OPS, when you add the slugging percentage, is up over 1,000. So he's been getting his doubles. He's hit some homers and getting on a ton. What a story.
And main objective for leadoff hitter, and a simplistic way to put it, get on base, score runs. That's what he's been doing. Scoring a lot of runs. He's been on base and forcing the opposition to pitch to guys like Thames, Santana, Shaw.
2-2 to Thames, and a called strike three. Thames is rung up. Home plate umpire Chris Conroy rings him up for the first out of the inning and the fifth punch out for Fultonevich.
Yep, setting up on the inside corner. Looked like that had some late tail to it, catching the edge. That was a good pitch. Can't give up on that pitch. Starts off the inside corner to a lefty.
First out of the inning. Now Santana will bat, who reached on a walk his last time up, and that hit him. Santana drilled, it looks like his right hand. Couldn't tell exactly where it got him. Boy, in all kinds of pain. Athletic trainer Dan Wright out to check on him.
You get hit around the wrist and around the hands and fingers. I mean, a number of different bad things can happen to you then. And it's good to see him going to first base. Pitch in on him.
Oh, on the elbow.
Elbow, yeah.
So the tingling in the hands because of the strike to the elbow.
Funny bone, maybe.
See that reaction by Travis Shaw in the background. He knows. That is Santana's throwing arm. He went on the DL twice last year with elbow and shoulder problems last season. Let's hope he's all right. It says it got him, looked like he's pointing at the forearm, got him in the meat, so hopefully he's okay. 2 on now, 1 away. Brewers have a chance. One of their best hitters at the plate, Travis Shaw. Shaw is the Brewers' RBI leader with 51. Could very easily have had 53 on another homer in yesterday's game, but it was called a double. And instead of a 3-run home run, he got a double and 1 RBI out of it. He swears it went out, as does most who in Brewers uniforms who saw it.
Well, we know that it hit the top of the wall. Where it went from there, we're not sure.
Ball and a strike. 2 men are on, 1 out. Shaw takes a ball. Shaw twice on the homestand hit the top of the fence. One of them it caromed out for a home run. This one came back in and ended up as an RBI double. Now Santana thought it went out. He started going into his trot mode and was an easy out at home plate.
Yep, took a look at it and they couldn't tell.
Right to the center fielder Inciarte, and Shaw is retired for the 2nd out. Now the further you get away from the moment, though, even though videotape exists, when you're telling stories and you're playing dominoes on the front porch, you'll say, I was robbed of a home run. Everybody saw it go out. They just took it away from me.
Yeah, dominoes.
Yeah, a lot of people, kids today play dominoes a lot.
How about checker? A little easier, isn't it?
When's the last game of dominoes you played?
Never.
Never ever?
No. I stack them up and like knock one over, watch them all fall down.
Oh, that's the kind of dominoes.
Yeah,
there's actually a game that you can play with the numbers on the dominoes.
Yeah, I know.
You just never.
I had played a lot of checkers.
No chess.
No.
You seem like a checkers guy versus a chess guy.
Too complicated. Takes too long.
Here's Manny Pena, and he takes a strike. How about cribbage, or what was your favorite clubhouse game to play?
We played bridge, actually.
Yeah,
I was in the C game. There was an A, B, and C game.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know they ranked them like that.
Yeah. You know, Molitor and Simmons and guys like that were in the A game.
Oh, it wasn't based on your playing ability.
Yes, it was.
I mean,
that's exactly what it was based on.
The playing ability of the particular game you're playing.
Right. Not baseball playing ability.
Oh, I thought maybe the celebrities.
How good of a bridge player are you? That's how they determine what game you're in. I was in a low-level game, just like in men's hockey.
It just kind of worked out that the same level of bridge player is the same level of baseball player, maybe. 0-2 to Pena. And that's a foul tip, which is a strikeout to end the inning. Pena doesn't agree. Well, these are not reviewable. Says he didn't touch it. Home plate umpire saying, I heard it. Didn't look like he touched it. At any rate, it doesn't matter because you can't review that. So the inning is over, and Pena is a strikeout victim. 2 amphibious vehicles are a must when you're in the Dells. You'll see the beauty of Wisconsin River, Lake Delton, and the lush land surrounding both, and will be treated to an entertaining travelogue along the way. Our weekend at the Dells. We're here in Atlanta, but our colleagues are at the Dells. They'll be having filing reports for you and having a good time. We go to the 3rd inning. Atlanta coming up. Brandon Phillips will start it. Nick Markakis and Matt Adams against Jimmy Nelson. First ball swinging. Phillips again, and this time a ground out. Last time he hit one out of the park.
Yeah, this time Jimmy able to get the baseball down in the zone, and Phillips grounds out softly to second.
Well, Rock, these plays we just saw to end the inning are not reviewable. The foul tip, but with the technology moving the way it is and the replay speeds as they are, maybe baseball should reconsider, because it did not look like Pena fouled that pitch off. Let's give you a look at it.
Yeah, it looks like he missed it by quite a bit. He might have not tipped it, but it might have gone through. He might have not been able to check his swing, but that wasn't the call. Chris Conroy called it a check swing. Looked like he went. Looked like he went. It was a strike. He didn't foul tip it, though.
Counsel was barking at Chris Conroy, knowing he cannot challenge that play. And I understand, you know, when replay first came up, the foul tips are really difficult to see, but why not put it into the mix?
But most foul tips, I mean, barely touch the baseball, the bat, barely, and very rarely. I mean, when it changes direction, most of the time a catcher can't
catch it, right?
So if it's a foul tip into the catcher's glove, it barely touches the baseball, the bat. So it would be, I think it would be impossible, even to, you know, the slow motion, you know, that super slow motion that we have, the XMO.
I'm sure Pena having a long discussion with him. Now, umpires certainly using their ears more than their eyes in a spot like that. You're listening for that double hit, the tick of the bat, then the pop of the mitt. That's a strike. 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
So you're trying to come up with more ways to slow the game down with replay?
More replay. More ways to extend the game as long as possible. Look at more.
Maybe balls and strikes next.
Yep. How about the robot strike zone? There's a swing and a miss by Markakis, as Bruce Fremming, our good friend, just falls out of his chair. No, actually, I don't like the idea of a robotic strike zone or automatic strike zone. I like the idea of an umpire back there, the human element. We get to look at all of this, and they're graded on same technology that you see at home, courtesy of Fox Tracks, is the same.
I know sometimes we get a little bit frustrated with the strike zone. I'm the biggest culprit up here, but they still do a fabulous job. I mean, for the most part. And I've always said that, you know, the umpires will be perfect when the players become perfect. Right. So I'm all against that technology.
Bruce Fremming did come up while you were gone the other day. He scolded me a little bit. He said, "There's no such thing as a close pitch."
Yeah, you're starting to creep into my territory.
He said it's either a ball or a strike.
He keeps us honest.
Well, it's a hard job. These guys do a great job. Best officials in all of the sports, the Major League umpire. There's no repetitions.
You know, there's no call in baseball. They have to make a call no matter what. Ball, strike, fair, foul, safe, out.
Can't eat your whistle is what you're saying.
Right. All the other sports, you just kind of don't call anything if you're not sure.
2 outs. Matt Adams at the plate. 3-1 the count. Brewers have a shift on with Adams up there. And it's ball 4. So Nelson, who had retired 7 in a row, issues the walk.
Many times running out to cast your ballot for the 2017 All-Star Game. Head to brewers.com/vote and cast your ballot. Up to 35 times to help send your first place Brewers to South Beach for the 88th annual Midsummer Classic All-Star Game in Miami this year.
Cubs are in Miami tonight. We're keeping an eye on that one for you this evening. Chicago won big last night, answering the Brewers win earlier in the afternoon. Brewers have a 1.5 game lead on the Cubs starting play today. That game is underway. Marlins have a 1-0 lead, by the way. They're in the 5th inning at Marlins Park, site of the All-Star game. Brewers down 2-0. Both runs coming in the first. A swing and a miss. Tyler Flowers chasing that breaking ball from Nelson. Oh, 0-2 the count. Flowers doesn't bite this time. Flowers, the everyday catcher. Kurt Suzuki is the other Braves catcher. Veteran backstop. Excellent handling a staff plus defender. Fultonavich has much better numbers ERA wise with Suzuki behind the plate compared to Flowers, but it is Flowers who gets a call tonight. Matter of fact, there's about 3 earned runs difference between Flowers and Suzuki for the pitcher, Fultonavich.
A lot of that has to do with who you're facing that particular night. I mean, one of his worst starts came against, the Washington Nationals. I don't care really who's behind home plate when you're facing that group.
Allowing 8 earned runs in that game. Flowers was back there for that one too. That was Fultonavich last road start. That's a pop-up. See if it stays playable. There's hardly any room over there, and that'll end up in foul territory.
Yeah, very small foul ground here at this ballpark. Helping the hitters. And fans are very close to the field of play. Good sight lines and right on top of the field.
Definitely has a more intimate feel than Turner Field, which was originally the Olympic Stadium for the '96 Summer Games. 2-2, down he goes. He got him with a slider. And Flowers is out. A strikeout for Nelson. He's got 5. Fultonavich has 6. K-Boys are wrapping up quick with these two.
As the Brewers kick off the 1982 anniversary weekend with a Paul Molitor replica jersey, giving the first 20,000 fans in attendance for the Brewers game against the Phillies. That's courtesy of Experience Fitness. Reserve your spot today at brewers.com.
Well read, Rock.
That was pretty good, wasn't it?
Our buddies Joe Simpson and Chip Carey, Braves announcers, the fine announcers that they are, they just sent over I know we're in Atlanta, but it's like a real Philly cheesesteak.
Yeah.
And it took a little extra time. There they are in their glasses.
Good guys. A lot of fun.
We're right next door. We're trying to harass them over here. Nothing. Locked in. Appreciate that, though. That was good.
Yeah, that was good.
I didn't know you could get Philly cheesesteaks in Atlanta.
Do you want me to respond to that? You can't.
It was fighting words, you're saying. Nick Franklin takes a strike.
But they are good. They are good. Yeah.
You haven't eaten yours yet. You're going to be surprised. I'm telling you. It's close. It's kind of, I don't know if it's Pat's or Gino's, but it's close. Now you're just being insulted. Franklin takes a ball low. You see, Rock's from the Philly area. He's from New Jersey, but he kind of calls Philly home. So anything comparing Philadelphia to anything else around the country is blasphemous.
I don't call Philly home. I see a lot of family when we're in Philly.
There's a strikeout. Foltynewicz just keeps racking them up. That's number 7.
Closest spot, that we go to Trent, New Jersey. How are we looking on the weather?
So I'm from the south.
I think it's going to miss us.
And what's happening, it's moving really fast.
Yeah.
The clouds are moving fast, which is a good sign. If those clouds stop, we're in trouble. That's my unprofessional evaluation of the weather situation here. I'm sure we have a lot of professional weather forecasters in our listening audience that could help us out.
Although I will tell you, it's really dark over there above the grandstands along the first base line. And I know it's starting to get a little bit darker because it's night. Don't give me that.
I was going to say the sun has set.
I knew where you were going.
Broxton takes a strike. It's our first trip here into, what's the name of the stadium?
SunTrust.
SunTrust Park. There's a lot to look at. It's very distracting when you're in a place for the first time. For us. Trying to check all of it out. I'm always curious to see how high foul balls will get. I gauge our booth's level on if we ever see a foul ball, and I don't think we're ever going to get a foul ball up there.
Unattainable.
I think we are in the no zone. So no gloves necessary in the booth. Broxton sends one deep to center field. Inciarte on the run. This is up. This is gone. Keon Broxton with a booming home run. And the Brewers are on the board as Broxton belts number 12 of the season.
I tell you, when he gets that ball down in the strike zone, look out. I mean, he puts a nice swing on that baseball. Had to count his favor, a 3-1 pitch. I should say a 1-2 pitch, and he drove it on out of here. Check this out. He wanted it up. They didn't get it up there. That was around a little below the belt, and he gives it a ride. Well, that's the hot zone for Keon Broxton, that fastball below the belt.
Arcia now with one out.
On a 1-2 pitch. Made the mistake.
And Broxton is having one of those years with the long ball. He is in a seriously hot streak right now. Hit 2 game-tying home runs on the last homestand. And Arcia doesn't like that call. 0-2 the count. He's a streaky hitter. He'd like to be less streaky, more consistent, but boy, when he is in a hot streak, it is fun to watch.
Yep, he will strike out quite a bit, but he'll also give you those big home runs. It's awfully difficult sometimes. I mean, to lay off that high fastball looks so good. You see it well, it's close to the eyes, but very difficult to get on top of and barrel up. But when he lets that ball travel, get down, lay off that high heater.
It's a foul ball and into the glove of the catcher Flowers. I thought that hit the ground. Didn't you think that the way Flowers caught the ball, it hit the ground first?
I think Craig Counsell wants to take a look at it. It's hard to tell because Flowers had the glove kind of in an interesting position. It's going to be hard to see.
Yeah.
I don't think you could tell.
So no review here. Counsell says play on. Arcia strikes out. Here's Jimmy Nelson. Eight punch-outs for Fultonevich. Nelson was one of them back in the second. Brewers are on the board here in the fourth. A Keon Broxton home run. Had a 7-game hit streak snapped yesterday, but right back at it tonight. Talking about the streaky nature of Broxton. So now in his last 13 games, he's hit 6 homers and 13 RBIs in his last 13.
Yeah, like a lot of home run hitters, they come in bunches.
Half of his hits are home runs, even.
Yeah.
In this stretch.
There's some ability over there. Those three guys.
I was just going to say the same thing.
Some speed, some ability. They all have pretty much the same physical attributes. Tall and thin, can run.
A 3-shot of very talented outfielders. Jimmy Nelson shoots one to right field, a base hit. Well, there you go, partner.
Yeah, he's swinging it pretty well. Shooting that ball into right field. Yeah, breaking ball that didn't do a whole lot. You're almost doing him a favor. You hang that pitch like that and dumps it into right field.
That's hit number 4 for Jimmy Nelson. And a second in as many games, which is now officially a hitting streak. And now to the top of the order, Eric Sogard. Sogard takes a strike. Line shot foul on that 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Let's see if Sogard can get one in that jet stream in right center. That's where they say the wind blows as it whips around the stadium. Look out. High fastball at 96.
That might be the only way that he's going to be able to score Jimmy Nelson. Anything that stays in the ballpark, probably not going to score. Good speed out there in the outfield. Pretty good throwing arms as well.
One ball, 2 strikes. Sogard sends one into deep right center field. Markakis on the run and will run it down. Got a good jump and fetched one in the gap. Takes extra bases away from Sogard. Keon Broxton, another homer, gives the Brewers their first run. Number 12 for Broxton. 2-1 Atlanta. Well, this has to be my new favorite promotion on the road here, the freeze rock. And the whole bit is a fan gets a head start and then the freeze tries to catch him. I mean, that's a significant head start.
Yeah, no kidding.
I didn't think he had a chance, but he just fetched this guy. Closing speed.
Is this instead of the mascot race?
I love it. This guy can fly.
Looks like a young Davey Nelson.
And then down he goes. You lose, sir.
Man.
The freeze.
Has he ever lost?
It's a local gas station. He's lost twice, actually.
Really?
I think he lost on opening day, and everybody was pretty upset about it. The freeze.
That's awesome.
Is my new favorite Major League Baseball promotion.
He wasn't even breathing heavy when he was done. At what point, if you were running in that, would the freeze have to start? Where would you be
to have to win
in order for him?
I think I could beat him if I started in center field. I don't know.
I'm thinking in the Braves bullpen.
That's right. He can fly, man. He's unbelievable.
Great.
There's a swing and a miss. Danny Santana. Well, Jimmy Nelson and Mike Foltynewicz are racking up the K's in this one. That's another one for Nelson, which is number 6.
Yeah, Jimmy just continues picking up right where he left off. Made that one mistake to Brandon Phillips, but I don't think he called a mistake. A first pitch fastball. I mean, there's a guy that just hunts fastballs, but it should be a 1-1 game. I mean, the misplay on the double play in the first inning cost Jimmy a run. Just dealing right now. Sliders, curveballs, and fastball locating nicely.
A little bit of rain starting to fall. No balls and a strike. Swanson, the batter. That one misses high. 1-1 the count.
Fans are starting to head to the concourses. Except for folks in the upper deck, they're safe. They've got a roof.
Such a great idea. Little jam shot. Broxton coming in, lays out, can't make the play. Swanson will stop at first. That'll be a base hit. Good effort by Broxton, who plays pretty deep compared to most center fielders by orders from his bench.
He got a good jump on it, just not able to get there. He got there, not able to keep it in the glove. Base hit for Swanson, but now Jimmy looks you dealing with the 8 and 9 hitters.
I think Broxton would prefer to play a little more shallow, but the idea behind outfielders playing deep is to what? Eliminate slugging percentage, but it's a defensive philosophy.
Yeah, coming in is a lot easier than going back on a baseball, but you're right. I mean, you give up a single, not the extra base hit. They did that with Gomez when he was here, but it was for a different reason. They were tired of having Gomez run into the wall at full speed. Maybe that has something to do with it. When you're a little bit more shallow, you don't have as far to go, obviously, and maybe the contact with the wall not as dramatic.
Oh, and at 6'4", like Broxton is, it does allow you to get back to the wall. You see a lot of opportunities to pull back home runs when you're playing that deep. Brewers are trying to cut down as many extra base hits as possible, and if a flare falls here or there, while it is frustrating to see it fall, I think that the numbers bear it out where they'd rather have the extra base hits taken away. No balls, 2 strikes, and a swing and a miss. Camargo strikes out. Jimmy Nelson with his second K in the inning now has 7. And 2 gone with the pitcher coming up.
Hey, tonight's time of the game winner. Genzi's Game Day Pub in La Crosse. Genzi's Game Day Pub in La Crosse. If they call the Brewers by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, they get 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite Beer Pen. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
So Foltynewicz at the plate, and a wild swing and a miss. Sheets of rain coming down. Remember what I told you about those clouds when they stop?
Yeah.
Now they've stopped. Ground ball coming in. Shaw got time here. And makes a safe throw to first to end the inning, and Nelson has put up another 0. 2 runs in the first, nothing but 0 cents. It is 2-1 Atlanta. Unlimited baseball, and we have Francisco Rodriguez, the former Brewer closer, has been released by the Tigers. Felt like there was some communication problems between Brad Ausmus and K-Rod, so he is out. Remember, there was a time when we were wondering if K-Rod was going to make it to 300 saves. He ends up at 437. I'm sure he is hoping to get picked up. Doug Fister also claimed by the Red Sox as the rain continues to fall. So those are a couple of big names from years past. Don't know if K-Rod will pick up, but I'm sure there will be opportunities for him to try to get it restarted again.
Yeah, he was very good for the Brewers in his time here.
Two and on the count, and Thames takes a ball low.
It was interesting between innings, you know, all the rain coming down. Ordinarily, you know, the head groundskeeper would be talking to the crew chief about, you know, what the plan was, what the rains were going to be, but there was really no communication of any sort like that. So maybe they are prepared tonight for, you know, this rain. Maybe it will blow through quickly.
Our friend Brian Peak sent us a note. He's good at weather. He says it's going to rain for about an hour, and then it's a very thin, fast-moving front. So I think the play here is, as long as we all ignore it, it'll go away.
Who's Brian Peak?
He's just a friend of show that hit us up on Twitter to let us know what the weather situation's like. Now you know.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Brian. Domingo Santana at the plate, presented by Wendy's. I trust him.
Well, on our way to the ballpark, we were told by our bus driver, Robert, who's very familiar with this area, there's going to rain at 9 o'clock tonight.
Also known as James.
And he was right on it.
He was. Because he made 2 predictions today. When we got on the bus, he said, we'll be there in an hour, even though we only had 6 miles to go, which I thought he was not quite right. And he said it's going to rain at 9 o'clock. And he was right.
Yeah.
It probably started raining at 8:56.
Yeah, right.
Close enough. And the bus ride did take an hour. Not sure the bus ever got over 20 miles an hour on the ride today. Just a nice little cruise. Mostly stopped. One ball, 2 strikes. And Santana fouls it away.
Well, if it took us 6 miles or an hour to go 6 miles, how many miles an hour is that?
That is a great question, Rock. We'll have to go back to Twitter for
I don't
that
think
one.
we ever touched 20.
There were a lot of his stoppages. We averaged 6 miles an hour. And that's a strike. No, it's a check swing. They were asking for it. But it's 2-2. Santana homering twice. Off Foltynewicz in Milwaukee in April. Santana on the Powerball home run leaderboard. He has 12 now. Thames leads the club with 20. Among league leaders in that category, Cody Bellinger still the National League leader in home runs with 22. And then there is a group of 20. Thames, Marcell Ozuna of the Marlins, Scott Schebler, and Joey Votto of the Reds. A called strike 3. Got him. Backwards K for Foltynewicz.
And slider right on the outside corner. And a good pitch by Foltynewicz. He's got good stuff today. Not a lot of movement, almost more of a cutter than a slider. Yep, it was a strike.
Shaw fouls one away a little bit late. Two to 1 Braves. They scored their 2 runs in the first inning. Should have been just 1 run that scored. There was no error charged initially on a ground ball to second. Looked like an inning-ending double play. Then they went to a review after the Braves challenged, and it turned out Arcia, who was making the pivot, never had the ball in his hand. So then they called the runner at second safe even, and then Arcia picked up the error. Nelson was able to get through it. He retired the next 2 hitters. No further damage. Braves had 2 hits and a walk in that first inning, including a home run by Brandon Phillips. I don't think the heavy stuff's coming down for quite a while.
I'll tell you, it is really affecting what's going on out there. I'm surprised that the umpires are allowing this game to continue, especially if Brian is right. It's only going to last an hour. Normally they'll just pull the tarp, let the rain come and go, and pick it up again. Normally you play through weather like this if you think it's going to rain for a long time.
Two-two the count. In the air, high fly ball in the rain. Foul territory. Phillips is over, and he makes a basket catch. Man, that is not an easy play. With the rain coming down, you're looking right into it, and Phillips all smiles, the multiple Gold Glove Award winner for the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, there haven't been too many better than Phillips out there at second base, and he makes plays like that look easy and has a good time doing it. infectious smile. Always smile and have a good time out there in the field. They said I couldn't even see with the rain.
But I caught it anyway, because I'm Brandon Phillips.
And one of the things they might be doing here is trying to get through the 5th inning to make this an official game.
Which is not great news for the Brewers right now because they're down a run.
Right.
Manny Pena with 2 away, runner at first.
It really is amazing how much rain the Brewers have had on the road this year. Just about every city. Even rained in San Diego when the team was there doing a game.
Craig Counsell talked about that during the pregame media scrum. Everywhere we go, we're on the road, it must rain. That's just the way it's been. All that good favor in Milwaukee. Brewers have actually played really well on the road. I always feel, I don't know where you stand on this, but I always feel the road team has an advantage when it's raining in that ballpark, because the home team, you know, they've got to deal with all their home scenario and they want to get back to their families and their homes. The road team, you're going to be gone anyway. So
right. Yeah, what's the difference?
It's like you just hang out. High fly ball by Pena in the rain. Center fielder Inciarte is there. And he's got it. That wasn't easy either. But the inning is over and this game is official. And we'll see if this rain does move on past. Brewers are down a run. 2-1 Atlanta. Braves are coming up, bottom 5. Something for everyone, from the guest rooms and villas along the 18-hole golf course, the restaurants, the bars, and the spa, to the 200,000 square feet of indoor and outdoor water parks. Plenty to do for the entire family during your stay at Wisconsin Dells Chula Vista. Now here in Atlanta, the rain is coming down. We did see the head groundskeeper, Ed Mangan, here at SunTrust Park. Have a quick chat with the home plate umpire, Chris Conroy. And Jimmy Nelson surveying the mound, making sure it's okay. And everything checks out.
Umpire telling Jimmy, any problems, let us know. We'll have somebody come out and dry it up.
2 things you always hear at a major league stadium in a rain like this. A, it drains well, and B, there is a window. Coming down hard. Little flare foul out of the reach of Shaw. It's not affecting Jimmy Nelson hardly at all. He's a professional sweater, let's say. He's used to being good and lathered up when he pitches anyway, so this probably feels great for him.
I'm not used to getting sweated on. It's coming down pretty good.
Yeah, it is. 0-2 pitch. Swinging a foul. Nelson working quickly here as he faces Cincinnati.
I would imagine if anybody has any issue with the weather, maybe, slipping, falling, Jimmy lets one, airmails one because of a slick baseball or an infielder. That's probably what they're waiting for. They'll probably cover it up and wait for the rain to stop.
Little soft liner into left's going to fall, a base hit. Cincinnati with a single. And a man on to start this 5th inning against Nelson. Hey, a reminder that Davey Nelson will host his annual celebrity golf tournament in Kohler on the Irish courses. The outing will benefit Open Arms Orphanage in South Africa and Brewers Community Foundation. Confirmed celebrities include Robin Yount, Gorman Thomas, Randall McDaniel, and Jim Gantner, to name a few. Always a great time, a great way to generate dollars for 2 amazing organizations. June 25th and 26th, the dates. Here's Phillips now. Swung at the first pitch, both trips to the plate. A home run and a ground out. Had no choice but to take that one. Nelson giving up the 2 runs in the first inning tonight. He's put up 0 cents. He is trying to come back after a complete game effort against the San Diego Padres his last time out. His first complete game in the big leagues. Did not allow an earned run in that game. 10 strikeouts.
And probably pitching just as well tonight, except for that first inning. You take away that home run. The misplay on the double play. Another solid outing for Jimmy.
Brewers run came on a Broxton homer in the 4th. If you're just joining us, look out. Tried to spin a curveball in there and looks like he lost the handle.
Yeah, Jimmy trying to dry himself off, but he's trying to dry his hands on a wet uniform.
Has to be a little unnerving for a hitter. Pitcher that can't get a grip.
You got raindrop dripping off the bill of your cap, your helmet. Maybe the hardest rain that we've seen in a while for this long a period of time, and they continue to play baseball.
Yeah, they must be expecting it to end shortly. And then why not wait it out, right?
Yeah.
Throw to first.
You risk injury. Normally when it's just a short period of time, maybe half hour, 45 minutes, cover it up, get everybody off the field, keep the field in good shape, and just continuing to stop. Look at those cleats. It's got to be a little difficult to get your footing.
2 balls and a strike on Phillips. Pulls it foul. Nelson's from the South. He grew up a Braves fan. Played his college ball at Alabama. He's from Florida. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Phillips. Got a runner at first. Inciarte started the inning with a single. Phillips into right center. And that's going to get down. That's going to shoot to the wall. And Inciarte all the way around to score. Brandon Phillips is into second base with a double. And an RBI makes it 3-1 Atlanta.
They've got a fastball out over the plate. The 2 that Phillips fouled off were down and in. And good 2-seam fastballs. This one, you can see where that one ends up. Outer half up, and Phillips drives it into the gap out there in right center. Yeah, same pitches, but different locations. Didn't get much sink on that last one.
Phillips with 2 RBIs tonight. A home run, now a double. And still nobody out in this Atlanta 5th inning. Here is Nick Markakis. On the ground to second. Sogard up with it. And there is the first out. It does advance a runner to third. A 4-3 put out. 1 gone for Nelson in the 5th inning. And Phillips 90 feet away. 2 of the Brewers' key players on their roster going through minor league rehab assignments tonight. Ryan Braun and Jonathan Villar both played in a rehab game in Class A Wisconsin, the Timber Rattlers up in Appleton. Jonathan Villar went 2 for 2 with a double, a walk, a single. He scored a run. He was caught stealing. Good day for Villar with a couple of hits. Ryan Braun was 1 for 3 with a single and a run scored.
That first game of a doubleheader in Appleton, right?
Yep. Second game underway shortly, if not already.
Don't expect to see either one of those 2 in game 2, though. That would be a surprise. Yeah, they got rained out yesterday, and Ryan Braun apparently signing autographs in the concourses.
It's good that way. In the minor leagues, when you play double headers, you play back-to-back games. No day-night doubleheader is my point, and you play 7-inning games.
Right.
Kane County won that first game, by the way, if you're scoring at home, 4-3. Despite the heroics of the 2 major leaguers. I bet they had a big crowd. When I was broadcasting games in the minor leagues, we'd get a big leaguer come down on a rehab, man. That would be big news.
Yeah.
Sound the alarms, alert the local media.
Yeah, big leaguers come, and the players eat well that day.
That's right.
When they play. I went down on rehab assignments when I was with the Angels. Went down to Palm Springs. Played some games. Tim Salmon and Jim Edmonds were on that A-ball team back then.
Pick up the spread, did you?
Yeah.
Hot dogs for everyone.
Maybe some refreshments, some libations. Yeah, they expect that. I mean, it's expected of you almost.
Yeah.
I mean, big leaguer coming down, making all that money. Feed the guys.
Swinging a foul by Adams. My favorite big leaguer in the minor leagues providing the spread was Chris Bosio, who had a knee injury and went down to the minor leagues when he was with the Mariners and was on a rehab assignment, and he was an A-ball. Now, in A-ball, you didn't get spreads every day. That starts in Double-A. You didn't get meals after a game, is what
leftover hot dogs
is what we're saying by spreads. There's a swing and a miss, and Adams out in front of a slider from Jimmy Nelson.
Another good pitch by Jimmy. He got it right under the bat of Matt Adams.
He needed that one. Nelson with his 8th strikeout.
Nice short slider. Not a lot of movement on it, but doesn't have to when it's that late.
So Chris Bosio told the clubhouse attendant for his team, the home clubhouse, to go over to the visiting clubhouse and tell the other team that he will be buying food and libations for everyone as long as nobody bunts on him. If somebody bunts on him, not only will he not buy the food and beverage, but he's going to stick one in somebody's ear.
Yeah.
So that was a no-brainer for him.
Yeah. What would you do?
Food and drink.
Yeah.
Nobody bunted. He made it through his 2 rehab innings. And I believe he had just, it was either the next year or 2 years after he had thrown the no-hitter. I mean, he was kind of a big deal going down to the minor leagues.
So when you say, you know, if somebody bunts, I'm hitting the next guy.
Yeah.
I mean, they police themselves. You better not bunt.
We got food on the line here.
And not only that, I'm going to have a bruise on the line here. Yeah, so you can only do that on a rehab assignment.
Bosio knew how to incentivize his rehab outing. He wasn't real interested in testing that knee on a bunt.
Well, he wasn't messing around either. He would have done it.
He might have just done it just for the sport of it.
Boz, a voracious competitor. Amazing. One of the biggest competitors I ever played with. Together with the Brewers.
Cubs pitching coach. He's done a great job there. No balls, 2 strikes. Base hit. That's going to bring a run in. Tyler Flowers, a 2-out RBI single. Nelson had punched him out last at bat with a slider away. Flowers got one he could handle and delivered one to right field. 4-1.
And fastball this time again. You know, same kind of an issue with the fastball. Brandon Phillips just stayed up. One of the few that he's left up in the strike zone. Didn't get that sink, and Flowers shot the hole over there. They had him played up the middle. That's a big run. Now a 3-run deficit.
And that'll bring up Danny Santana. Big swing and a miss. Chased one out of the strike zone. Not raining quite as hard. Still raining, but it's manageable now. Our amateur weatherman in the truck, Dan Keener, says we're clearing up fast, Rock. We're all good the rest of the night. The Brewers are happy to hear that because they need some time to come back in this game.
Yep, got 4 innings left.
1 ball, 1 strike. Santana, the Atlanta left fielder, switch hitter, 25th pitch of the inning, down and in, and skips away. Pena's throw to second base. In there is Flowers on a wild pitch.
That's that slider. He spiked it. You know, Pena not able to square it up. Kind of a sidearm throw, and Tyler Flowers not all that fast, able to get into scoring position. I think Jimmy Nelson now wants a little bit of work done on the mound. Maybe not.
It has been a grind here in the 5th. Braves have scored twice. RBIs from Brandon Phillips and Tyler Flowers. Nelson's spot in the batting order is due up 4th. Counsell trying to get him through this inning, but can ill afford to go down anymore. Could be his last hitter. 3-2 now. Runner at second, 2 gone, and a pickoff play. Arcia comes in behind. "26 pitches. See how wet his forearms, his hands, and no place to dry off.
Yeah, not even on the dirt. Dirt's soaked.
Payoff pitch coming. And that'll be a walk. Ball 4. First and second now. And Derek Johnson is on his way out. Craig Counsell goes to the phone.
You got to believe there's going to be activity here pretty soon in that Brewers bullpen. And just now they're starting to stir around, so it's going to be a couple of hitters before somebody's going to be able to get loose.
Well, a reminder this summer, some of the biggest names in basketball, including Allen Iverson, Chauncey Billups, Kenyon Martin, Jermaine O'Neal, they head out on a 10-city professional 3-on-3 battle. Ice Cube presents Big 3 basketball starting Monday at 7 p.m. Central, only on FS1. Rainy Friday night in Atlanta. The Brewers are down 4-1. All the crowd has packed up underneath the overhangs here. They're still loud at the tomahawk chop going. Key moment in the game for Nelson and the Brewers. Down 4-1. You're still in striking distance, but the Braves can add to it. There are 2 outs. Flowers is the runner at second. Santana at first. Dansby Swanson is the batter.
And all of a sudden, Jimmy's starting to miss badly with his pitches, fastballs and sliders.
Shaw will hustle it over to first in time for the out, and the inning is over. But the Braves scored twice. Looks like the rain is slowing down. Let's see if the Brewers can get their bats going. legends in Red Sox history in those two World Series titles. Remember, he was the MVP of the World Series in 2013. Also was the MVP of the ALCS against those Yankees the first time around in 2004. 3 World Series titles for Big Papi, and one of the great clutch hitters of all time. Working on the field here, Ed Mangan and his crew. That's Ed there, the head groundskeeper, working on the mound. And before any of his Atlanta Braves get on the field, they will try to put it back together. Looks like the rain is on its way out for now. Well, our game summary, if you're just catching up, we had a beautiful night to start. Wisconsin Dells brings you the game reset. Brandon Phillips hit a home run to start it. That was a first pitch home run, and then Markakis was able to score on a botched double play. That was an error on Arcia. Keon Broxton then delivered in the 4th inning with a solo shot. And then Phillips again, bottom of the 5th with the rain coming down. RBI double. Tyler Flowers with 2 outs had an RBI single later that inning in the 5th, and that's where we are. 5 innings in the books and a 4-1 Atlanta lead, and Mike Foltynewicz has been taken out. 5 innings, 4 hits. He strikes out 9, and he's going to give way to Jason Mott out of the Atlanta bullpen.
Yeah, the former Cardinals closer, Jason Mott. 26th appearance, having a good season. 205 earned run average. He's got 14 strikeouts, 22 innings. Not the big strikeout guy that he used to be. He pitched last night in that wild game against the Giants, a scoreless inning. All the runs he's allowed this year have come via the home run. They haven't given up a lot of hits, but the home runs have hurt him.
Well, the Brewers hit a lot of homers. Fastest to 100 in franchise history, as a matter of fact. Well, let's see if the Brewers can get it going a little bit. Council's got a decision to make on Nelson. It'll be easy if there is a base runner and Nelson's spot comes up. If the Brewers go 3 up, 3 down, then we'll see. Jimmy's spot in the batting order due up 4th. So it'll be Nick Franklin to start it. He has singled tonight. He's 1 for 2. Franklin, Broxton, Arcia. And that group of 3 has delivered 3 of the 4 hits. 1 apiece. Bott coming back from Tommy John surgery. He's been trying to find his way the last couple of seasons. He emerged as the Cardinals closer, and when he was on his A game and healthy, had a blistering fastball at 99, 100 miles an hour.
Right, doesn't throw that hard anymore, but still fastball slider. Those are some pretty good career numbers. A 321 earned run average, 60 saves.
42 of those 60 saves came in the 2012 season when he led the National League in saves. He rehabbed with the Cardinals. He missed all of 13. Rehabbed with the Cardinals, came back, then became a free agent, signed with the Cubs. Spent 2015 with Chicago. Last year we saw him in Colorado. And now he is an Atlanta Brave at age 35.
He kind of has that unique delivery where he kind of takes the ball out of his glove. He taps his glove again with it. You don't see many pitchers do that.
He slings it 3/4 that time. And he misses. 3-2 the count on Franklin. You know, no matter what happens in his career from now on, who knows how long he'll be able to pitch. To lead the league in saves, something he'll take with him forever. And by the way, to lead the league in saves on a team that was a playoff team. Bouncing ball, flip it over to Mott, and it is in time for the out.
Yeah, check out delivery. Comes from high 3/4. Really a closed stance. Kind of takes the ball out of his glove, taps the baseball in the glove again, and then fires to home plate. Unusual, especially the way he stands there, almost like he's facing a shortstop. I mean, his interesting position with his leg. That's his mechanism to stay closed with that front shoulder. That keeps him, at least he thinks that keeps him from opening up that front shoulder and, you know, having everything fly open and everything up in his zone.
Mott has his first man out. Here is Keon Broxton. Mott is pitching in his 9th season in the big leagues. He's been on a World Series championship team with the Cardinals in 11. Pitched in that World Series. Wasn't the closer then, but he was part of that terrific bullpen. Led the league in saves. Had Tommy John surgery and came back, which is always, I think, such an important, for a competitor, for a player, an important piece to know he came back. You know, he did all he could to get back on the field, and he is now 4 years removed from that surgery. Functions as a middle reliever.
Yeah, throwing a lot of cutters. I mean, I think just about every pitch that he's thrown so far tonight has been a cut fastball. A cutter at 85 miles an hour. That's about, you know, at least 10 miles an hour off of what he used to throw.
2 balls and a strike, and Broxton pops it up. That'll be in the seats.
And a little disconcerting the way he kind of squints as he's trying to look at the sign.
I would hate that as
if he can't see.
Can he see me?
I mean, when he was throwing, you know, 98, 99 miles an hour, it was a little bit more intimidating. When he's peering in for that sign and he's kind of squinting, like, what? What is that? Where are you?
Two pitch, and he got him. A strikeout from Mott. 2 gone.
Yeah, that's exactly where you want a cutter to end up, down and away like that. And Broxton swings right through it.
The year Mott led the league in saves, he tied for the league lead with Craig Kimbrell, who had 42 that year right here in Atlanta back in 2012. John Axford was closing games for the Brewers in those days. He had 35 that season. Arcia 1 for 2 tonight. Well, the Brewers have Brent Suter warming in the bullpen. Lewis Brinson is on deck. So it looks like a change is coming as Arcia grounds to short. And a good throw by Swanson. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Jason Mott. Brewers are retired in the 6th, down 4-1 to Atlanta. First ever game for the Brewers at SunTrust Park. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. And by Toyota. Let's go places. Well, some of the retired numbers here at SunTrust Park. They have been able to transfer all of their great history in Atlanta. They've got another member of the Hall of Fame going to be enshrined later this year, John Sherholtz, as an executive. Going to be the 4th straight year a member of the Braves organization has gone into the Hall of Fame. Got some changes here, Rock. Brent Suter is going to be on the pitch. You can close the book on Jimmy Nelson as he goes 5 innings, gives up 4 runs.
Yeah, he got called up on Wednesday from AAA. He made 8 starts down in the minor leagues, has made 5 relief appearances with the Brewers. He's given up 4 earned runs in 7 1/3 innings. This is the 5th different time that he's been with the Brewers this year. So up and down, and it's always much better to get back up. And Jimmy Nelson had an interesting first inning, gave up a home run. And Brandon Phillips after the strikeout to Enciarte, but outstanding work. I mean, 4 earned runs. It should have been 3. 5 innings, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts. And he pitched well enough to deserve a better fate tonight. And Brewers really haven't been able to do much offensively so far.
Yeah, pitching through the rain as well. So Brenson will enter the game in left field. This will be a double switch. And you can put Brenson in the 9th spot in the batting order. We'll see him lead off next inning. Craig Counsell still making sure the mound is workable for Brent Suter. And he says it's all right. Just a light rain falling right now. It was really raining hard through the 4th and 5th inning.
Well, it's good that they continued to play and nobody got hurt. It really didn't affect the outcome of the game. Nobody's slipping and sliding. Baseball is flying all over the place. If that was the case, they certainly would have put the tarp on. Are they expecting better weather tomorrow?
No, actually, the weather is not great.
Same.
80% chance of rain tomorrow.
Worse? I heard worse.
Worse. I think by game time, hopefully, maybe we'll be all right, but it's going to rain at some point tomorrow. So you got that to look forward to. Brent Suter ready to go now. What are your joints telling you? What are your bunions saying about the weather tomorrow?
I feel good. No, I don't feel like anything's going on.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, the old elbow is saying it's not raining.
Everything else all right after knocking down that cheesesteak?
Half. I left the curly fries alone.
Good for you. What discipline.
You know, we were talking about the press dining choices down there.
Not many.
Yeah, I try and cut back on the carbs.
Right,
you try and do that as best you can. I mean, the useless carbs that you throw back. They had macaroni and cheese. They had pasta. They had potato pancakes. And a chickpea salad. So I really didn't.
With breadsticks.
Yeah. And a mountain of brownies and cookies. So.
Well, they want you walking out of there happy, see.
So I was a little bit hungry when I got up here. What am I going to do?
He went for the full carb load.
So thankfully they sent over the cheesesteak. And
there was a strikeout for Brent Suter to start the inning. Camargo is down on strikes.
I think I'm good until breakfast.
That's good to know. All right, well, Julio Teheran is going to get an at-bat here. So I figure that Skipper Snitker does not want to burn a position player right now, feeling like he may or may not need him since it's 4-1. So Teheran will bat. And on the first pitch, he grounds one to second base, and that's a gift for Brent Suter.
Yeah, Braves only have 4 guys on their bench. Well, you're almost sacrificing an at-bat right there. You're just saying, all right, I got a lead. I don't need this at-bat. I'm going to sacrifice the out. You never know when you're going to need runs.
Top of the order now with 2 outs. Here is Ender Inciarte.
And Tehran's making a start on Sunday. And maybe giving a little bit of practice before his start.
Every pitcher's dream when they are not in the game is to get an at-bat in between starts. Tehran's dream has come true. It lasted just 1 pitch. Matt Kemp, by the way, is dealing with a hamstring injury. That might have had something to do with it.
All right, maybe just 3 then.
He's not on the disabled list, but this is probably not a night that Snitker wants to use Matt Kemp. Day to day. There's Matt. By the way, the Marlins beat the Cubs tonight in a 2.5-hour blitz. 2-0 was the final score. It was a 4-pitcher combined shutout. Jose Urena was the starter. He went 6 shutout innings. And the Cubs go down to the Marlins in Miami. Suter issues a walk, and Inciarte is on for the 2nd time. I'll bring up the red-hot Brandon Phillips. This guy's been a nemesis for the Brewers tonight. And Jimmy Nelson, his first at-bat in our Jimmy John's delivery of the game. First pitch he saw tonight, and he launched it out of here.
Man, that 4-seam fastball, and Brandon Phillips not going to let too many of those go by. He is a very good fastball hitter. He got another fastball later in the game, drove it into the gap, where Jimmy John's delivered the game. Brandon Phillips with a couple of RBIs tonight.
Home run and a double. 2-run first for Atlanta, 2-run 5th. The Brewers' lone run came on a Keon Broxton 1-out home run in the 4th inning. There's a strike to Phillips. By the way, the Marlins beat John Lackey and the Cubs tonight. Giancarlo Stanton hit his 19th homer of the year. Stanton and Yelich drove in the run. Stanton now with 48 RBIs. And a 2-0 Miami win. Cubs blew out the Marlins last night. Different story this evening in Miami. So the Brewers a chance to, with a comeback, go up 2.5 on the Chicago Cubs. Cubs record falls to 37-36. 1 game over. Bob Nightingale wrote an article in USA Today about the National League Central, and it led with the Brewers, basically saying if nobody wants to win the Central Division, the Brewers certainly do. Disappointing years for the Cubs. Cardinals, Pirates have to feel like it's been a bad year at this point, and the Brewers just keep on clicking along. And I think when you talk to the Brewer players, they feel like they've got a hot streak in them at some point.
Right.
They don't feel like they've played their best baseball by any stretch.
Well, everybody hanging around until probably about mid-August and see who the hot team is, and that's going to be the one to win the division.
5 games over. The Brewers, for a young team or inexperienced team, have been excellent on the road. 6 games over 500 on the road this year. Milwaukee at 19-13. Now, the way the West is going right now, and there's a lot of baseball, I understand, but the way the West is shaping up, you will probably have to win the division to make it to the postseason if you're not in the NL West.
Right.
Because right now the Dodgers lead the division. Arizona, Colorado, those are the 3 best teams record-wise in the NL.
You're going to have a division winner, 2 wild card teams at this point.
The Rockies are in 3rd place in the West. They've lost a couple games in a row. They're still 19 games over 500. Did he go? He did not. Checks his swing. And to count 3-2.
Ooh. Yeah, that could have been called.
How about Phillips even calling for his own check?
He just didn't want the home plate umpire to call it.
Somebody else does that. Miguel Cabrera does that. Yeah, check. I dare you. Bouncing ball to 3rd. And that will retire the side. So Suter puts up a 0. That sends us to the 7th inning. The Brewers have some work to do in Atlanta tonight. This guy's going off right now. He won the Carolina League Home Run Derby on Monday. Last night had a triple and a home run. He was 2 for 4 at Potomac, playing for the Carolina Mudcats in the Carolina League. Zebulon, North Carolina is the location of that ball club. Great numbers across the board. 10 homers, 34 RBIs. Looks like he might be the real deal. He is handling the lower levels of the minor leagues, and be interesting to see what he does at the higher levels. AA would be the next step for him. There's some Brewers fans in the ballpark tonight. Always a good turnout of Brewer fans here in Atlanta. Sam Freeman is the next pitcher for the Braves. And he'll take over with Atlanta leading 4-1. There's a little time between each inning because they're trying to get the mound just right with all the rain that it has taken.
Yeah, Sam Freeman got called up from AAA back on May 4th. You can see 17th appearance now, a 249 earned run average. Apparently Freeman throwing a few more strikes these days. He's always had a good arm. It's just a matter of being able to throw it over the plate.
First at bat of the game for Lewis Brinson. Came in on a double switch last inning. Brinson trying to make the most of his days in the big leagues. He's probably getting to the point where he needs some regular playing time once again. I don't know what the Brewers move will be, but it would seem that when Braun returns, Brinson would be heading back to get back in the regular flow. He's an everyday player, and he's going to be in the big leagues. And Craig Counsell even commented on that today. He said, look, we're in a pennant race. We're in first place. Last year we could stick with guys and see them through slumps and whatnot. It's a different story this year. Playing time is hard to come by the more you win.
Well, the other guys are swinging the bats well, so I mean it's hard for Craig Counsell to find playing time for him, so you send him down. Your #1 prospect can't be sitting on the bench in the major leagues. He's got to be able to continue his progress and get down to AAA and keep playing every day. Get better.
Nick Franklin got the start tonight. Craig Counsell trying to stack as many lefties as he could find against the hard-throwing right-hander Mike Foltynewicz, who has a nasty slider. He can be really tough on right-handed hitters. The swing and a miss. Brinson is down on strikes. The Brewers have not had a hit since Broxton went deep in the 4th, and only 1 base runner since that time as well. Thames drew a walk to lead off the 5th, so not a lot going on for the Brewers offensively. Freeman to face Sogard, back to the top of the Brewers order. And now you see why Snitker wanted the left-hander on in this inning. Look out, hit him, drills him. Freeman with a fastball hits Sogard to put a man on with 1 out in the 7th inning.
They're trying to come inside and just a little bit too far inside. There's a base runner. Get him right on the hip, almost on the belt. And Sogard not too happy about that. Yeah, a couple of base runners and maybe somebody get a hold of one. And nothing doing in that Braves bullpen.
Here's Eric Thames. Takes a ball down and out. Thames on the ground, slow roller. Phillips has only 1 play, and he'll get Thames at first. 2nd out of the inning. Sogard does advance, and that'll bring up Domingo Santana. Santana tonight has reached twice. He was hit by a pitch in the 3rd inning, walked his first time up, and then Foltynewicz struck him out in the 5th. Foltynewicz struck out 9 in 5 innings.
Yeah, he looked good tonight.
He just doesn't give you a lot of length. You know, high pitch counts and throws hard, big strikeout pitcher. Gets deep into a lot of counts. But he looks like a pitcher who has a chance, when he gets it all figured out, has a chance to be an ace at some point with his stuff.
He's basically got the 2 pitches. We didn't see a whole lot of curveballs and changeups, even to the lefties. It's basically fastball slider, you know, 4-seamer, 2-seamer, slider. And you can get by, you know, for a little while with just 2 pitches, but as a starter, unless those 2 pitches are on their game, it's going to be tough to get through in a lineup. But he looked good. He had a good fastball tonight. Kept it down on the corners.
Yeah, he was humming along 96, 97 miles an hour. 3rd pitcher used by Snitker, the Brave skipper, Sam Freeman. Brewers need a big hit. Need to infuse some life into their offense. Runner takes off. Sogard, paying no attention to him, was Freeman. And a stolen base will get him to third. Pitch was called a strike. It goes to 1-2 now.
Yeah, nobody even paying any attention to him. Middle infielders just on their heels. And he just walks into third base. Boy, just a free base.
You never know. A wild pitch, an error, lots of ways to score. Santana shoots it foul. Domingo had his big moment on the homestand with a 2-run home run. The game that Arcia made that fantastic game-ending play took a little bit of the headline away from Santana's night that night. He had driven in 3 runs, including a 2-run home run that put Milwaukee on top in the 7th inning. 1-2 pitch. High and away, 2-2 the count. Take you back. Santana against the Pirates. He got one from Daniel Hudson and did not miss. Powerball home run number 12. And it was a big one. Brewers were down in the game. That put them ahead.
Yeah. Right inside that right field foul pole.
2-2 pitch. Santana fouls it away.
Domingo with that quick bat. I mean, even on the inside part of the plate, Freeman tried to jam him that time, got a piece of it, but still able to cover that outside corner. We saw that on that home run against the Pirates back at home.
Hoping for a mistake. Freeman deals, and a shot back up the middle, a base hit. Santana with an RBI. Now he's thinking about 2, and he'll pull up and head back to first. 2-out RBI single for Domingo Santana.
There's that quick bag again. Freeman made a mistake with the fastball out away from him and able to barrel it up into center field. And that's just a lightning quick bat through that strike zone. Not a whole lot of movement before he swings, and that base hit. So Sogard got hit by a pitch, took third on a stolen base, and scores on the Santana single.
RBI number 39 for Santana. And since late May, he's been in the top 10 in the league in RBIs. Gives Travis Shaw a swing against the lefty Freeman. Brewers have the tying run to the plate now. And a strike to Shaw. Travis is 0 for 3. He's hit left-handers well this year. Most of his homers have come against right-handed pitchers, however. 12 of the 14 against right-handers. And a strike. 0-2 the count. He buckled his knees. Shaw's among National League leaders in doubles with 20. Top 6 in extra base hits. Top 10 in RBIs. And down on strikes he goes. A swing and a miss. Shaw is out. Inning is over, but the Brewers get a run, and they are within 2 of Atlanta. Freeman with a strikeout of Shaw sends us to the bottom of the 7th. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Moving fast in Atlanta. The time lapse here in the suburbs, Cobb County. Battery, Atlanta's the location, all the shops and restaurants, some of the office buildings in the heart of Cobb County. This franchise moving from downtown, and now their third stadium. Went from Fulton County Stadium to Turner Field, now to SunTrust Park in its first year. Brent Suter will go to work. He'll start it against Nick Markakis. We play in the bottom of the 7th inning. Braves have a 4-2 lead. They've out-hit the Brewers 6-5. Brewers have stranded 8.
Yeah, both teams have stranded a few base runners tonight. 15 between the two teams.
From 1966 to 1996, the Braves were in Atlanta's Fulton County Stadium. Moved over to Turner Field in 1997. Remember the Summer Olympics here in '96 in Atlanta, and then it took a year to do some renovations to turn the Olympic Stadium into a baseball stadium.
And never got to the old ballpark, Fulton County.
Still had the wall up every time we drive past it. Look out. Pitch is inside. First year the Brewers were in the National League, 1998. They played at Turner Field. That was their first National League game, right? There's a swing and a miss. And Suter picks up a strikeout of Markakis to start the 7th inning. And that'll bring up Matt Adams.
And remember that year the Brewers went to the Astrodome to play the Houston Astros. So was able to do some games in the Astrodome. That was quite the experience. That's when I met you for the first time.
You remember it well. Curveball strike. Probably on your list of most memorable moments when you met me for the first time at the Houston Astrodome. Why don't you tell them the story, Rock, about when you met me for the first time?
And we were eating.
Since it made such an impact on you.
I don't remember anything you actually said. I just figured you were one of Matt Vasgersian's tag-alongs. I mean, he did have a bunch of people he would drag around in all the ballparks. How would I know then that you're going to be my partner now 11 years?
And like gum on a shoe, you're not going to be able to get rid of me. Rock had no memory of meeting me that year, and when I came up to interview with the Brewers for this job, I was whisked over to Rock by his handlers, and I said, "How you doing, Bill? Good to see you again." He goes, "Yeah, nice to meet you, pal." I go, "Well, we've already met." He goes, "Oh, I don't remember that." I thought we were off to a great start at that point. Swing and a miss by Flowers.
I have nothing to say in my defense. It's all true.
Remember, we did an audition game together.
Right.
We watched a game that had been played the previous year. I believe it was a Brewers Padres game. And in the middle of you and I trying to figure out how this was going to work, there was a soundbite that came up on the screen from that game.
Right. Yep.
It was Derek Turnbow. During that particular game, they had dropped in a soundbite about Derek Turnbow, and I had no idea. I knew who Derek Turnbow was, but I had no idea what was happening and no context.
See how well you handled that? Look at you now.
I just started imitating Derek Turnbow. And Rock said, "This clown's got to go." Good thing they don't listen to you, though.
Yeah. I tried.
Little jam shot. It's going to fall. Base hit. Tyler Flowers muscles one.
Some kind of year offensively, isn't he? Hitting over 320. Yeah, base hit to right to score a run. That was a jam shot, but he's big and strong, able to muscle it into center field. Hitting 325 before that at bat. Not bad.
Getting that kind of production from a catcher. Flowers now hitting 329 after his 2 hits tonight. Danny Santana. And Suter's got him in a 1-1 count.
That turns around and bats right-handed, the switch hitter. Braves have a couple of switch hitters in the lineup.
There's a strike. 1-2 the count. Suter trying to give Craig Counsell and the Brewers 2 innings out of the bullpen. And a bouncing ball. And that eats up Thames. And everybody's safe. Runner on his way to third. Flowers, the throw comes in late. And that was a mess for Milwaukee. That second hop ate Thames alive. That'll be an E3 on the Brewer first baseman.
And he brought the glove up and then had to adjust down, which is awfully difficult to do. Right here, you see the way he has to go down on it. That ball stayed down on him somewhat, probably because it hit on that wet dirt. Ate him up. That'll be an E3, and he continues.
Credit Tyler Flowers too. He never stopped. He was running hard all the way, and he ends up at third base. I think if Sogard comes up throwing right away, he might have a chance at Flowers at third, but I'm sure he's not expecting a runner to be on the move like that. Caught him by surprise. A swing and a miss by Swanson.
Nice second error committed by Milwaukee. A little sloppy tonight.
Fly ball foul.
There's a big out right here. You're down toward the bottom of the batting order. The Brewers just got a run on the board at the top of the inning. You don't want to give it right back. Only down by 2.
Brewers just got a run in the top of this inning. RBI from Domingo Santana. Runner goes, and a base hit right field. Another run's going to score, and the error is costly for Suter.
And both errors tonight have been costly. They have cost the Brewers a couple of runs.
5-2 Atlanta. First and third still with 2 outs.
And Suter trying to come inside, didn't get it out in far enough, and Swanson just kind of pulls the hands in, shoots it into right field, so Flowers comes around to score. Boy, this inning started out pretty well for Suter, a couple of strikeouts. That third out's been tough to come by.
I remember Suter thought he had Flowers rung up as well for a quick 3-up, 3-down inning. Not the case. Now Johan Camargo at the plate. Matt Kemp has moved on deck for Atlanta. Tight hamstring and all. There's a pop-up. Should stay playable. Thames is there, and the inning is over. But an error leaves the door open for Atlanta, and Dansby Swanson with an RBI single. Back to a 3-run Braves lead. It's 5-2. No, they won't drop a game in the standings. They'd love a comeback here tonight in Atlanta and be able to add a game, get up 2.5 on the Chicago Cubs. That's the story right now as we go to the 8th. 5-2. The Braves just scored a run, an unearned run. And Atlanta goes to Jose Ramirez, their hard-throwing setup man out of the bullpen. Manny Pena will lead off.
Yeah, good numbers for him at 273 earned run average, 33rd game. And he got 24 punch-outs in just shy of 30 innings of work. And look at the opponent batting average under 200.
Brewers will have Pena to start it. Hernan Perez due next. He'll pinch hit. Suter gives the Brewers 2 innings. The starter, Jimmy Nelson, coming off his first career complete game, goes 5 tonight. Tough conditions, though, for Nelson. He had to pitch in the worst of the rain. Rained for about 3 different half innings, and Nelson was out there for the hardest of the rain.
Yeah, it looked like toward the end of his night. I mean, he was having a difficult time throwing strikes. I mean, he was missing badly with some pitches. I'm not sure who it's worse on, you know, the hitter or the pitcher, though. You're up there at the plate. You got, you know, wet hands, wet bat, you know, rain dripping off your helmet. Not easy on anybody.
3 balls and a strike on Pena. Manny back in the starting lineup. This is his 5th start in the last 6 games. He's been getting the bulk of the playing time. He's had a hot bat lately. And that's inside. Ball 4. So Pena is aboard. And the Cardinal sin is for a reliever, walk the leadoff man with a lead, and he's done that here with a 3-run lead. Let's see if the Brewers can take advantage.
Well, that run in the bottom of the 7th inning, a big run for the Braves. Now the Brewers need 2 men on. Maybe somebody hit one out. You say that because the Brewers rely heavily on the home run ball to score their runs.
So Hernan Perez will pinch hit. Perez hitting for, or in the pitcher spot, which was originally occupied by Franklin. The 6th spot in the batting order. Counsell made a double switch earlier with Brinson when he brought Suter in, wanting multiple innings out of Suter, which he got. And Perez pops it up. Phillips will call it. And he's got it for out number 1. Now to bring up Broxton now.
And Can able to center on one on a 1-2 count. You know, Fulton Average gave him a fastball down in the zone. He knocked it out of here. He hasn't hit many wall scrapers this year, has he?
No.
I mean, they're bombs.
Hit that 489-foot homer in St. Louis, the longest homer measured at New Busch Stadium in the StatCast era. He can give him a ride to all fields. Home run here would look good for the Brewers. That would get him within a run. Broxton at the plate. Arcia to follow. Keon's home run earlier in this game measured at 432 feet and left the bat at 105 miles an hour.
I think Keon would have liked to have had a whack at that last pitch. Upset with himself for not swinging at it right down the middle.
Broxton's first career hit came here in Atlanta at Turner Field. Snapped a long hitless streak. Remember, he had a swinging bunt, little dribbler down the third base line. He finally got off the board. Was hitless in his first 19 at-bats.
Doesn't matter how it happens, you just got to get that out of your system. Those 0 for whatever start getting into your head a little bit.
Wonder how he feels about a ballpark that is closed down for Major League Baseball. The site of his first hit. Three and one, and it is low, ball 4, and now the Brewers are in business. 2 walks in the inning will bring the tying run to the plate. Orlando Arcia will step in, and that's going to draw a visit from the Braves dugout. Chuck Hernandez, the pitching coach, on his way out.
You would imagine that Braves bullpen's got to be in kind of rough shape after an extra inning game and a 12-11 game last night. You had that rain delay, so I would imagine Braves really haven't had a whole lot of activity in the middle of innings tonight. They're giving each one of these guys an entire inning. I imagine those guys are a bit thin out there tonight.
11 innings on Wednesday night. That long game, wild game last night with offense.
Yeah, 11 runs.
Giants had a comeback in that game. Yeah. Also a 90-minute rain delay in that one. Well, see if the Brewers can take advantage. Two on. Here is Arcia. Baseball is a great game of redemption. It'll give you opportunities often. You know, Arcia kicking himself about that error in the first inning, which allowed a run to score. He doesn't make many, but that one was a costly one. He took a swing at it. Big hack. Fouls it back. 1-1 the count. Pena, the runner, at second. Broxton at first. Down the line it goes. It's fair. It's going to get into the corner. Coming in to score is Pena. Right behind him is Broxton. He'll score without a throw, and Orlando Arcia drives in 2 with a double.
Yeah, that's the way it's done. A couple of walks, you drive him in, and there's that kid again. Really starting to turn on fastballs in on him. Done a heck of a job making adjustments. That fastball coming in, gets the barrel of the bat out there and rips it down the line. You knew once that ball got in the corner that Broxton was going to be able to score with his speed. And now Brewers are a base hit away from tying it up. Look at the way Broxton is just busting around those bases. He almost caught Pena.
I'd like to see Broxton and Mr. Freeze race tomorrow. Tying run at second. Here's Brenson now. I'm paying top dollar for that matchup.
I got Broxton on that.
Really?
Especially if he gets a head start.
I think it's close. Oh yeah, head start, no chance.
Yeah.
No balls and a strike on Lewis Brenson. Still searching for his first big league homer. How about one right here? Make a memory out of it in Atlanta. Go ahead run at the plate. Brewers down a run with 1 out, 8th inning. 2 runs are in. Ouch. Got him. Drilled him on the hand. And Brenson will take his base at first, but that one stung him.
Yeah, got him on the hand. Chris Conway was asking first base umpire Ben May if he swung or not. First base umpire said no, so he's going to get his base. Just now activity in that Braves bullpen.
Athletic trainer Dave Yeager out checking on Brenson, and that one is giving him all kind of trouble. Well, you don't like when the trainers go down into the fingers on that.
Just testing the strength, the mobility, range of motion.
He's hurting. See if we can see where it got him. Oh, right off the pinky.
Yeah, it looked like the knuckles, right off the knuckles.
Oh.
Let's see, did he swing? No. Got him on the knuckles. That's going to smart a little bit.
You know what? His bat hit the glove of Flowers. You see that?
After it hit him.
Just as it was hitting him. As the ball hit his hand, it looked like the head of his bat hit the catcher's mitt. Right there.
Yeah. Flowers probably helped him out. Had it not hit the glove, he might have swung at it.
I think you're right. He stopped the bat. What a big moment here now. Brinson still trying to shake it off, but he carries the go-ahead run. 2 men are on. Jesus Aguilar is the batter.
Sogard must be hurt.
There'd be no reason to pinch hit for Sogard. He's been so good.
He did get hit by a pitch.
Counsell forced to empty out his bench. Only has Jet Bandy available. Aguilar in a big spot, pinch hitting for Sogard with 1 out, and that one is a strike. 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, there's no other reason that you take Sogard out in this situation. Got him on the hip. The only reason that you take him out, of course, he doesn't look like he's hurt too bad.
Yeah, you're right. Well, that'll be something to wait for post game. Find out the deal with Sogard. 2 on, 0-2 count. And that is gloved at third by Camargo. Thrown to second out there, and the Braves turn a double play.
Man, that's a tremendous play. Wow.
It's as good as it gets. First, he takes a hit away from Aguilar, and then turns 2 to get the Braves out of the inning. What a play by Johan Camargo. Okay, guys, hope you're having fun at the Dells, and here we are in the bottom of the 8th. Carlos Torres will pitch for Milwaukee, and Hernan Perez, who pinch hit last inning, will stay in to play second base. Boy, what a play by Johan Camargo, the switch hitting third baseman.
Yeah, it was a nice backhand pickup down the line. Perez takes over at second base. He pinch hit, and now we'll play second in place of Sogard. No information on Sogard's exit. Interesting. Look at this play. This is a bullet coming off the bat hot and turning a double play. The Braves.
101 miles an hour off the bat exit velocity there, as Lane Adams, the pinch hitter, is down on strikes. So Torres picks up his first out via the K. Braves have their closer getting loose now, but the Brewers get two. The 2 RBI double by Arcia, which brings them within 1. And the Brewers will have Thames, Santana, and Shaw coming up. Big hit by Arcia to drive in a pair. Backdoor breaking ball in there for a strike. Inciarte with a single and a walk started his night with 2 strikeouts, but he has rallied, singled and scored in the 5th. He walked in the 6th. Jimmy Nelson, the starter, he's on the hook for the loss. Went 5 innings. Fulton Avich went 5. He is in line for the win. Little tapper back to the mound. Easy play for Torres, and the second out. So it'll be Brandon Phillips with 2 gone.
And Brandon Phillips has swung the first pitch in 3 of his first 4 at bats tonight. The only reason he didn't swing the first pitch, 1 at bat almost hit him. Be careful here.
Brandon Phillips, 2 hits tonight. He homered, then doubled in a run in the 5th. 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Takes 1 for a strike. Braves are in a save situation, and we might be seeing a change of the guard here. Aronas Vizcaíno is getting loose. Jim Johnson has been the Braves closer, but blew a save yesterday. He has 5 blown saves this year. And perhaps Vizcaíno is the new finisher for Atlanta. He certainly will get the chance tonight. Torres 0-2 on Phillips. The 1-2, and Phillips able to lay off. Brandon, with his great prowess defensively, he's always been a terrific contributor offensively as well. Has had some big home run years in Cincinnati. And a wave and a miss. Torres strikes him out to end the inning. So a scoreless bottom of the 8th, and now the Brewers, last call coming. They're right where they want to be in the batting order. For the Brewers, they need 1 to tie it, 2 to take the lead after delivering a couple of runs in the 8th inning on an Arcia double. And Arodys Vizcaíno is on the mound, not Jim Johnson. And he is out there for a save opportunity here tonight. His strikeout numbers are impressive this year.
Yeah, 36 strikeouts, only 9 walks in, just shy of 31 innings of work, and he has given up only 2 earned runs in his last 21 2/3 innings. That covers 23 games. That's a .83 earned run average.
Well, here we go. Eric Thames will lead off. Santana to follow. Travis Shaw after that. Thames and Shaw, the big lefties with power. Santana's already driven in a run. And big power in his own right. There's a strike. Thames is 0 for 3. He did walk in the 5th inning. That started the inning. And Thames lines one down the right field line. That's going to get to the corner. Eric Thames on his way to second. And he's in there with a leadoff double. The tying run in scoring position.
Yeah, that was a 98-mile-an-hour fastball that he turned on. It was down and in. He just rips that pitch down into the corner. Now there's your tying run with nobody out. And that's a location where you can get to at 98 miles an hour, down in the zone, up in the zone, much different situation. Brewers fired up. There's your tying run at second base.
They're into it every night. They're into it. That's one thing that does not change with this club. They're fun to watch for that reason alone. So Santana, chance to tie the game or maybe give the Brewers the lead with a long ball here. Vizcaíno from the stretch, and he misses down and in. Pressure is ratcheted up on Vizcaíno now with a runner in scoring position. It's one thing to pitch trying to get these final 3 outs with nobody on, and you've got a little bit of a comfort zone, but now it intensifies. Braves have blown 12 saves this year. Johnson has 5 of those, the closer, who is actually in the top 5 in the league in saves. Jim Johnson, he has 14.
That Brewers right in the mix as well. Not all those blown saves in the 9th inning. You can get a blown save in the 7th or 8th inning.
One ball, one strike. Domingo Santana in a big spot here in the 9th. Brewers were down 4-1. Now they're within a run. That bounces in. What a play by Flowers.
Yep.
Man, just took that one right in the gut.
Man, just put the glove right between, the legs, protecting that 5-hole. That's exactly the way it's done.
Perfect for him.
That's a big block. That's like an RBI right there.
And it doesn't show up anywhere in a box score, but you put a runner at third with nobody out, that's a game changer.
Yeah.
Good play. Puts a count in Santana's favor. 2 balls, 1 strike. Santana shot to the shortstop. Swanson is going to third, and Thames is out. Heck of a play by Swanson. Eric Thames cut down at third. That was risky.
Yeah, probably not a good idea to take off. You don't want to go on a ball hit in front of you. That ball was hit hard again by Santana. Oh, it's going to be close. To get the hand in there.
That's such a good play by Swanson.
I mean, if you're Craig Counsell, why not? What do you got to lose? No, they're not going to challenge it.
First out of the inning.
That's huge.
Think about the block on the pitch in the dirt and then the play by Swanson right there. Inning totally changes. Thames is hot. You're taught as a base runner, if the ball's at you or behind you, you take off. But remember, it's been raining here all night. It's got to be a slow track.
Well, and you also have to keep in mind where the defense is. The defense is shaded up the middle. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit different story. Let's check out the tag. Does he get him? Yep, looks like he's out.
Meanwhile, Vizcaíno just unleashed a 100-mile-an-hour fastball on Shaw. Travis is due. He's 0 for 4. And another one in there. 97 this time, and it's quickly a ball and a strike. If the Brewers tie or take the lead, Counsell has Josh Hader in the bullpen.
Yeah, apparently Corey Knebel down tonight
after pitching in back-to-back games. 1-1. Down and in. 2 balls and a strike. Don't forget, tomorrow we're back at it. Miller Lite, what's on tap? 2 o'clock is our airtime in the Central Time Zone. It'll be R.A. Dickey, the knuckleballer, against Matt Garza.
That should be interesting. The knuckleballer Dickey.
Day game. Our pregame tomorrow from Wisconsin Dells, and then we're on the air at 3 o'clock here from Atlanta. Big hack by Shaw. 2-2 now. Both teams have left 9 men on base in this game. Santana carries the tying run. Shaw in the air, left field, drifting over Santana in the corner. He's got it. Domingo Santana's going to tag. The throw comes in late.
That ball carried, didn't it, down the line? Goodness. I didn't think he hit it that far. He took Santana, Danny Santana, all the way to the warning track. Well, he's got good power to the opposite field. Kind of a flick of the wrist, gun under it, but boy, it carried pretty well out there in left field.
Just missed it. And now the Brewers down to their last out. Manny Pena, who has had a knack for the dramatic home run here recently, steps up with the tying run at second base. A base hit would do it. Anything that touches the outfield grass. And Pena takes a ball. A slider from Vizcaíno. Manny is 0 for 3. Walked and scored his last time up. He'll be ready to swing here. Likes to swing early in the count.
It's amazing how the middle of the infield for the Braves really don't spend a whole lot of time worrying about base runners at second. And you would think they'd be thinking about trying to keep them close.
Santana has a big lead. Pena down the line, foul. Got out ahead of it.
I mean, Swanson and Phillips barely even move a muscle in their positions to try and keep Santana close to the bag. At least get him going back towards second.
And if you're Domingo Santana, do you dare try to steal a base here? There are 2 outs, but if you're not being held on at all,
I wouldn't do that. I'd get a big lead, though.
It'd be almost a guarantee that he'd score with a base hit to the outfield. Can Manny deliver? 1 ball, 1 strike. Slow roller foul. 1-2 now. And the Brewers are down to their last strike. Crowd of 30,000 have suffered through the rain. Brewers trying to turn the tables. 1-2 the count. Vizcaíno deals in the dirt. 2-2. now a mound meeting. Those are the two that changed this inning right there. The catcher Flowers and the shortstop Swanson.
Really not sure what that was all about, but a lot of times pitchers don't like that, break their momentum. Standing around having a chat, not sure what that was for.
Pena's got some pop, looking for a mistake from Vizcaíno. 2-2. And Pena on the ground. No, it is caught on a line by Swanson, and the ball game is over. A low line drive that was grabbed by Swanson, and two terrific plays by the young shortstop secures a win for Atlanta. Brewers go down to the Braves in game 1, 5-4.
And Manny hit it pretty well, but yeah, nice play by Swanson to get it before it hit the ground. And left side of the infield for the Braves late in the game, coming up big. Third base and short.
Fulton Evans the win, Jimmy Nelson the loss. First save for Aroldis Vizcaíno. Heck of a play out there by Swanson. Time now for Brewers Live. We check in with Jeff Grayson. He's standing by in our Fox Sports Wisconsin studios. Jeff.